So I want to talk about what's next for Crawford. Right now I'm hearing that Crawford is supposed to go back down and actually go to 100 and 160. The 100 and 160 pound division. And see what's going on there, since he skipped that one to get the 168 just because he knew he could take out Canelo. He knew it. He saw what he saw. He saw it. And he was right. But also, if he chooses to stay at 168 pounds, who thinks he could deal with Mbilli or Martinez, two bona fide 168 pounders that put on, honestly, the best fight of the night, which was the co-main. I mean, that was rough to watch. I mean, those guys threw, I think Martinez threw about 800 or 900 punches and landed like 420. And then Mbilli threw, I think, like 700 and something punches. And I think he landed like 300 and something. I know Martinez landed like 139 more punches. But the crazy thing about that fight is, normally between Martinez and Mbilli, normally in a fight like that, somebody breaks. I mean, eventually somebody breaks because they were all action. That was an all action fight, tooth and nail. Mbilli throwing a million body shots. Martinez, who really didn't want to be smothered and didn't want to be in a dogfight, not in the way that Mbilli brought it to him. Martinez fights the Mexican style, but the Mexican style is not smothering. It's more like we standing here trading punches. We both are at a distance and we're landing on each other, moving like that. Mbilli's not doing that. He's coming in with his head, mauling you, and just throwing straight body shots. I mean, just non-stop combination. That's what he does. And eventually, in every fight I've seen him in, eventually the person he fought broke. Meaning they just gave up their will and said, I can't do anything with this dude. He doesn't seem to be slowing down. What Martinez was able to do is slow him down, because Martinez found out himself he's a dog. You know what I mean? Mbilli found out, because they ran up against their same self. They ran up against each other and they were equal. Neither man broke. But one thing I know, if they fight again, I believe one of them is going to break, because somebody left out of that fight and I don't know who it was. And they were that close. So if they get back in that same situation again and they remember how they felt the last time, and the same thing is happening, meaning they're saying, man, this guy isn't giving up. Man, this guy isn't slowing down. And I'm going to be honest, I think it was Mbilli. The reason I think it was him is because Martinez had a plan and he was keeping his energy through it all. He was worn out. He was definitely worn out from trying to keep up the pace that Mbilli was bringing to him, but he did a good job of giving himself space and creating opportunities to land hard shots on Mbilli. And I believe Mbilli was, if he wasn't ready to break, because Mbilli took the harder shots to the dome. He was taking the harder shots, and Martinez was going to the body. But he definitely took the harder shots because Martinez was creating the space and then whamming with combinations. Now, any ordinary person, man, you have to be trained for that type of punishment. That means those guys came in that fight in dog shape. I mean, they were definitely in dog shape, for sure. Both of them. Because there's no way either one of those guys should have made it out of that fight without breaking if they were not prepared to go the distance with somebody that was bringing what they brought. If either one of those guys underestimated the other, that would have been that's the person that would have broke. Normally that's what happens. Somebody underestimates another guy. So once you get in there and things get tough, you're like, man, I ain't expect this. So that means I didn't train. If I didn't expect it, that means I didn't train for it. So both of those guys trained properly to be where they were. But the question is, what would Crawford do with Mbilli? That's really who I would rather see him fight because of the style. Like, how do you keep a guy like that off of you that seems to be good with cutting the ring off? Canelo couldn't cut the ring off on Crawford. He couldn't do it. That's why he couldn't do what he wanted to do, because he couldn't control the distance. He couldn't control the distance. Crawford controlled the distance, meaning Crawford was where he wanted to be when he wanted to be there. And if he ever got somewhere and he didn't feel like, I don't want to be here no more, he just moved out of the way. Canelo couldn't, he couldn't dictate the pace or the distance. So, Mbilli, I believe he'll be better at cutting the ring off on Crawford than Canelo. But would Crawford have enough firepower to slow down Mbilli? Because what we see is, taking those shots he was taking from Martinez, can Crawford give him any shots that's going to slow him down? If Martinez couldn't slow him down, I don't know, man. That's at 168 pounds, and Crawford is undisputed, so Mbilli is actually up next. He's the mandatory. So, I don't know. What do you think?